This is the Apple Vision Pro, but in your opinion, it is too bulky and way too expensive for you to consider buying it. But you would love to have multiple virtual screens, a huge OLED display to play your games on, and to watch movies. Well, Rokid might have something for you. This here is the new Rokid AR Spatial combo, consisting of sleek glasses, which are much lighter, and a player that can play all of your Android apps and games on 3 virtual screens that you can all use. And of course, you also have a huge virtual screen where you can play games on and where you can watch your movies. And this is only going to set you back around $500. So in this video, we're going to check it out together. So absolutely stay tuned, watch the whole video because all of this goodness is coming up. I'm glad that you're back on the channel. My name is Sebastian Ang. And if you are as excited as me about, well, glasses like these and spatial computing, then absolutely subscribe to this channel here and click on the bell button so that you don't miss anything. Now, for full transparency, this video is sponsored by Rokid, who have sent me this kit to check it out for you. But as always here on MRTV, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to tell you what works well, but also where I see the limitations, and you're going to get my full and honest opinion. So let's dive right in. These are the Rokid Max 2 glasses, this is the Rokid Station, and together this is Rokid AR Lite. So let's start with the glasses, the Rokid Max 2. And we open this up and we see a very beautiful hard case. These hard cases get better from generation to generation, and this time there's even space for the Rokid Station. So everything is going to be in this hard case, which is nice. So let's have a look at the Rokid Max 2. We're looking at Sony micro OLED panels with a resolution of 1080p or 1200p, depending on if they're connected to the Rokid 2 Station, and that's a bit of a higher resolution as the competition. Also, they have diopter adjustment, as you can tell, from 0 to -6, which is nice, and they have IPD adjustment, and we're going to talk about this a bit later in this video. Just like most of its competitors, it's also using the bird bath technology, which reflects the micro OLED screen into your eyes. All right, and here we have a look at the actual design of the glasses. And in my opinion, this is a step forward from the Max 1. And well, compared to the Vision Pro, this is something that you can wear outside in public areas without any problems. The glasses have been designed to be worn for hours, so the nose pads are very comfortable. You can also exchange them if the size doesn't fit. And also the temples are very flexible, as you can tell. So even if you have a huge head, you can still comfortably wear the Rokid Max 2. Yeah, we have loudspeakers, of course. And here we have 2 buttons. And they are for the brightness and for the volume. And that's all the buttons we have here with the Rokid Max 2. Yeah, here's the USB-C connection. We are connected to the Rokid Station 2 or to any other USB-C video out device, like your Steam Deck or your iPhone with USB-C connection. All right, let's have a closer look. This is absolutely a very interesting device. It looks like a phone, but the area that you now think is the display is actually a big touchpad. So no display here. They want to save on energy, and anyways, you're looking at the glasses, right? So you don't actually need a display. So that is very interesting, and it feels really nice in the hand. And I can already tell you that controlling the unit using this touchpad is really good and feels great. Okay, what else is in the box? Well, there's a protection case, and I like that. So you don't need to buy this from a third party, you can simply directly use it. So again, what does this thing do? Well, all the content that you can enjoy on the Rokid Max glasses comes from this little device. On the bottom, we have 2 USB-C connections. One is to power the device and to charge it, and the other one is for the Rokid Max 2 glasses. Then here we have a volume rocker, we have a home button, and we have another menu button. So simply all the buttons you will need for Android. And yeah, it's a full Android installation, and therefore you can use all the Android apps. And we're going to have a look at this later in this video. On top, we have actually one button only, and this is the power button, the red one. Okay, let's put this into its case, yeah, since it's already there. And this is everything that you need to bring on the road in order to enjoy your spatial content on 3 virtual screens. Nice. And it also fits into this overall case. So this is what you bring onto the road. Nice. But how about the visual quality? How does it actually look? So let's have a look through the lenses, through the lens of the Rokid Max 2, and this is how it looks. This is actually through the lens footage. I'm looking at Netflix here, and let me show you how this size compares to my actual big 65-inch LCD panel here on the back of my living room. As you can tell, it is much bigger, and I'm sitting around 2.5 meters away from my actual TV, so this is going to give you an idea of how big the virtual screen actually is. And the picture quality itself is just great. You can only get a glimpse here of the actual quality because it's through the lens, and through the lens videos are never very easy to shoot, but I can tell you it looks fantastic. It is just as bright and beautiful as the competition. So if you ask me to compare this with the competition, actually they are all using very, very similar panels. Yeah, so they have to differentiate themselves from the other glasses in some other ways, and they do. And we're going to talk about the Rokid Station 2 in a moment. So the glasses by themselves offer a very nice quality, but when combined with the Station 2, that's actually when this combination really shines. But let me show you why. This is what you see when you connect the glasses to the Rokid Station 2, the Yoda OS operating system, a spatial operating system. And you can use your Rokid 2 like a laser pointer to choose things, like here, for example. And here, for example, here are my Android apps that I've already downloaded to the Station 2. And here are the quick settings, and I can change also the control scheme to portrait touchpad, and I prefer this mode actually, where I would actually use the touchpad like an actual touchpad, so no more pointing, much better. And in this mode, I use the 2-finger scrolling gesture to scroll, so just how you would expect it to be. Also, you can use the touchpad in landscape mode, but I prefer actually the portrait mode. In the settings, you can also change the IPD via software from 53 millimeters to 70, let's check it, 75 millimeters. So no matter your IPD, you will see a good picture. And here's where it gets cool. You're getting 3 screens that are pinned in space thanks to the 3DOF that the Rokid Station gives this combo, the AR light. So you can look around at each of the screens and work on them and check out all the Android apps that you're running on those 3 screens. And in my opinion, actually, this is the main selling point for this device if you want to use it for getting work done, because you can really work on 3 displays wherever you go. Like here, I have Discord on my main screen. I can change it to ultra wide if I want, which is cool. On the right, I have ChatGPT. I can directly ask some questions. And here on the left, I also have my X timeline because I want to stay up to date, of course. So this is so useful. And then when you connect a Bluetooth keyboard, the whole thing becomes actually useful, and this becomes a workstation, and the Rokid Station 2 becomes your mouse pad. Yeah, so let me show you how I connect my Bluetooth keyboard here. Bluetooth pairing, click on pair, and then here my Keychron K2 keyboard is connected. This is Android, right? So you can simply connect any kind of devices to the Rokid Station 2. And yeah, actually I did write my script for this video here within the Rokid AR Lite system, and they work very well. So yeah, you can bring this to a coffee shop and get some work done, and I like that. So can you run any app on this? Well, almost. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the full suite of the Google Play services. So for example, I couldn't run Google Docs on this natively. But there was a workaround, so I simply opened the browser that came with the Station 2 and I opened Docs there, and yeah, as you can tell, it worked fine. and you can get your work done like this. Interestingly, they have another mode called reading mode, and then the virtual screen will simply get closer to you and it makes it easier for you to read. And it's only this one window then that gets into your focus, and the other windows are gone for this moment in time at least. Yeah, and then you can go back to multi-window and see the other windows again if you want. So very cool and very thought through, the whole thing. So, how good is gaming on the device? Well, it's really good. Of course, you can connect your PlayStation controller, for example, or any other Bluetooth controller, and then go for it. Here right now, I'm playing Diablo Immortal, the Android version, and playing this on a huge screen that's floating in front of you. It's simply fun. It is simply great, and you will have a fantastic time doing so. Also, in this mode, you can change it. You can do theater, for example, or you can do multi-window if you want. So just like before. And here I'm choosing the movement mode, where actually it is also like following you. Here, I prefer this mode, the theater mode, where actually you can look around. So that is good. Also, you can do all the streaming apps, right? You can stream your PlayStation. You can stream your Xbox. You can stream your PC games using Steam Link. It all works fantastically. And yes, you can also just connect the glasses to your Steam Deck, to your MacBook, or to your iPhone with USB-C. But you have to keep in mind that you're then losing the 3DOF functionality because that is baked into the Rokid Station 2. So the virtual screen floats with your head and is not pinned in space. And thanks to DRM support, there are no black screen issues here that you sometimes see on competing glasses. So that's a plus. But also due to those DRM protections, when you're watching this kind of content, you will not have multi-window support. And also there's no 3DOF when you're watching DRM content. So that's also something that you have to keep in mind. So here is my verdict. In my opinion, the Rokid AR Lite system is a great entry point into spatial computing if you do not want to spend $3,500 for a Vision Pro, for example. This is going to set you back $578 if you're going to use code MRTV70. If you don't use the code, you have to pay $70 more, so use it. And for that money, you're getting great visuals on a huge virtual screen. You're getting 3 displays productivity with Android apps and with web apps. You're getting Android gaming. You're getting streaming gaming. You're getting movie streaming. And you're getting a very portable form factor that does not break the bank. So sure, this is not an Apple Vision Pro, but it also doesn't cost as much, and it's way more accessible and actually more comfortable to wear. So if you want to dip your toes into spatial computing, you can do it for around $500, and that's a pretty amazing price. So if you're curious about spatial computing and want to get a taste of it today, this is worth checking out. And that's everything that I have for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If yes, give it a thumbs up and do let me know in the comment section. What are your thoughts about the Rokid AR Lite? Are you going to pick this up for around $500? Do let me know down in the comment section. And if you want to discuss this or other headsets with me and the MRTV community, come to the MRTV Discord server. The link is down in the description of this video. And now I'm looking forward to see you in the next one. Until then, bye-bye.